Hi there, in today's video I'm going to be talking about how quitting caffeine for anxiety changed my life and what top tips I have to help you quit and to change your life. So let's get started. Do you love your coffee to the degree of obsession? I have to admit that is my confession. The smell, the taste and the buzz of coffee can make the day feel worthwhile. Just seeing that creamy liquid is enough to make a coffee lover light up and smile. My coffee would make me feel amazingly high. I'd get a burst of inspiration like I'm about to fly. I often wondered, how can this awesome substance be legal? It literally lifts you up to the sky. You feel like an eagle. I started drinking coffee in my early adulthood. Each sip would make me feel extremely good. I was struggling with chronic anxiety at the time, and it seemed like coffee made me less anxious inside. On top of that, I'd feel happy and energized, which for a chronic anxiety sufferer is otherwise hard to realize. I began planning my days around coffee to help me make my anxious days less groggy. So what on earth made me want to give up caffeine? The truth is, my decision came about unexpectedly while searching for a way out of my constant anxiety scene. At that time, I had reached a point of unbearable and constant worry, nervousness and irritability. I was not doing well at all and felt so much instability. I was also having sleep problems, abdominal pain, bloating, IBS and heart palpitations, migraines, chronic fatigue, low energy levels and poor concentration, plus joint pain, cystic acne, swollen gums and depression. As you can see, far too much for me not to seriously question. So with all these problems, I went to see an alternative health practitioner who was absolutely incredible and a great listener. She asked me detailed questions about my entire life, including childhood, career, parents, relationships and education, as well as diet choices, level of exercise and stressful lifestyle duration. On top of that, she requested detailed blood test results and more medical examinations. We spent quite a bit of time together and had a few consultations. Once she felt she had enough information, she explained what was behind my mental and physical fragmentation. She confirmed that my anxiety started as a result of war trauma in early childhood, but that my lifestyle choices made my symptoms worse, which she said was not good. The main culprits were unhealthy eating, sedentary lifestyle, lack of relaxation, and consumption of caffeine. She seemed to know so much, like she was a super health queen. When I got home, I started to do some research on my own and realized what she was saying is also scientifically known. I found scientific studies that show links between poor diet, lack of exercise, caffeine and anxiety symptoms. I was amazed to learn this, but only wondered why doctors and psychologists I saw prior didn't mention this even a little. I thought to myself, this is something I could try to change, even if it felt like climbing the highest mountain range. But I was desperate to feel better and achieve anxiety relief, and so I began a 90-day journey of new healthy habits and no caffeine. So how did I quit caffeine? Step 1. I went all in. I was hardcore and adopted healthy eating, regular exercise, meditation and no caffeine simultaneously because I took the advice I was given very seriously. The first 2 days were hellish. It was the migraines that felt like my head was swelling. The next 7 days were also challenging. I felt angry, anxious, tired, weak and depressed to do anything. After the 9 days had passed, I was seeing some light at very last. During week 3, I started to notice improvements and I was feeling more human. I was less anxious, irritable and nervous, and I could fall asleep at night, which used to be a massive burden. As time went on, I was getting better and better. My physical health was not causing me such pressure. I had more energy and better concentration levels, and my digestion improved while IBS settled. I was really happy with what I was seeing, and so I decided to make this my life for the time being. Step 2. Learning from the process. I was feeling really good living my new healthy lifestyle, and it made me wonder for a while if I can continue with everything while introducing one daily coffee as an exercise. But as soon as I started consuming caffeine, my anxiety and sleep went back to what it had been. The healthy lifestyle was still doing a lot of good, but I realized there is a clear link between caffeine anxiety and insomnia, which wasn't at all good. So I learned from this process that to keep my physical and mental health optimized, I had to leave the equation of healthy eating plus exercise plus meditation plus no caffeine unmodified. Step 3. Resisting temptation. To resist temptation for caffeine going forward, I affirmed the following to remind me of my caffeine anxiety horror. Caffeine increases my irritability and nervousness. Caffeine stops me from sleeping. Giving up caffeine gives me terrible migraines. Quitting caffeine transformed my anxiety levels. I made posters and stuck them all over the house and in my journal to remind me why no caffeine is my new normal. Now years have passed by, I no longer crave caffeine and anxiety is not part of my life. I still continue to live healthily, as in my experience this has proved to be a necessity. If you are ready to transform your life and anxiety, here are some tips for you finally. You can eliminate caffeine gradually if you are not ready to adopt the cold turkey strategy. For example, in week 1, eliminate your afternoon caffeine hit, then in week 2, half the size of your morning coffee, you can do it. In week 3, switch to decaf coffee for a bit, so that in week 4 you are ready to quit. Start your caffeine detox at the beginning of the weekend to allow the time for migraines. That's what I'd recommend. Continue to be caffeine-free for a 90-day period. This is how long it takes to notice all the benefits in my experience. Introduce healthy eating, regular walking or exercise and relaxation techniques as soon as you can. This will speed up your anxiety progress, change your life and optimize your lifespan. I know this is a lot to take in and probably sounds too much, but the benefits are astronomical, so please don't misjudge. I wish you success from the bottom of my heart. Living healthily and quitting caffeine can trigger natural highs off the chart. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope I have helped you in some way.